Peace, love, and prosperity, family. I hope all has been well. This is a prophetic word for some of you, especially those of you who are operating in a certain season. Um, you have to be very careful not to burn yourself. You're playing with fire, right? And when I say you're playing with fire, we're not talking about dealing with people that you're not supposed to deal with or dealing with things that you're not supposed to deal with. No, you're very powerful right now. And the type of power that you have in your hands, if you're not careful, you can burn yourself with it, right? This is making, let me think about one way to explain this. Some of you are in an energy where, and we did a video about this called Watch Your Mouth, right? Because the things that you're speaking are rapidly manifesting. So some of you are in such a powerful energy and you don't realize it. You don't realize that you have the anointing over you right now. You don't realize that you have the Midas touch, that everything that you touch will turn to gold. You don't realize that, yes, words turn to things, but right now, for whatever particular reason, our words are really turning into things extremely rapidly, right? So you have the power to create anything. And what I mean by don't burn yourself is that you have this flame, family, that can burn and recreate anything. Think about, let's say you know, like when they're doing like metal smiths, or like let's say you're making some gold jewelry and you got to melt it down with extreme heat. So that's the type of fire that you're working with. You can literally destroy anything and then rebuild it, right? Or you can create whatever you want. You can mold things in your life into existence. But if you're not careful, you might overburn. If you're not careful, the thing that you're trying to mold or create, you can end up using this and it can backfire on yourself by not knowing how to really work in that, with that capacity or that energy. It was a video that I did back, I want to say it was 2020 now. Wow, how time flies, because it's 2022. This was like back in August 2020. And I never forget this word, because this word has been coming to fruition each year, like even more powerfully. And the word was called undeniable power, family. It was in this on my Patreon, even though it's like an older post now. But in this video called Undeniable Power, there was almost a 5 second delay between me thinking a thing and between it actually happening or actually occurring. It was amazing. It was like, as soon as I would think something, as soon as my feelings would shift, or as soon as my intentions or my desires would shift, I would think about it. And then all of a sudden, there would be some type of solution. There would be some type of solution or something that physically just manifests right afterwards that was in alignment with that. It's like there's no delays between thinking or talking and something happening. So understanding this, we can't be lenient on our words. We can't be lenient on our conversations. We can't even be lenient on the things that we watch on the television. That was a part of the word that I didn't get to give when I did the video about watch your mouth. But one of the things, it's not even about just what you speak about, family. It's about what you watch. You can watch something on television, and then all of a sudden you're seeing this thing manifest itself a certain way in your life. I'm going to give an example. It has to do with my fish tank again. Y'all know I'm around my fish tank every day, so I guess that the Most High has been speaking to me through my fish tank, okay? But I was watching this movie that I told y'all about called The Platform on Netflix. And in here, he talks about having like escargot, which is snails, right? And so it's this scene where they were just cooking a whole bunch of like dead snails in the thing. And I felt some, I mean, I'm not going to say I felt some type of way. I was watching a movie, but I really do actually like snails. You see what I'm trying to say? So literally the next day, one of my snails ended up dying in the filter. I always say they committed suicide, and then one of my other snails tried to kill itself right after that, and I saved it. So I ended up putting like these pre-filter sponges on my filter so that they can't get stuck in the filters trying to suck off algae anymore. But I said that to say I knew literally that happened as a result of me watching that movie. And I watched the movie like a few times, right? So I knew that happened as a result of that. And it went back to that same prophetic word that I did about watch your mouth. Okay, so this is that energy. It's like, I'll close it out like this, family. You know how we say with great things come with great responsibility. So if you're working with a great power, like let's say you're like, man, I want to be a powerful creator. I want to be able to walk in my power. And God gave us not the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. I want to walk in that power. I want to be bold and courageous. I want to be able to create. I want to be able to just do it. So some of you have been given that anointing. Some of you have been given that Midas touch, but it also comes with another side. It's like, yes, you have the power to create anything that you want, but you can also quickly create a lot of things that you don't want. You can also quickly use that fire and destroy things that you were not supposed to destroy. right? Either within or without yourself, which is the same difference, right? So be very careful about the people that you're spending your time with, the conversations that you're having, what you're watching, what you're listening to, and what type of things that you're entertaining in general. Like, it's interesting because it's like it's the gift and the curse is how I'm picking up on this. It's not a curse, but you have to learn how to use it, right? It's just like, I mean, think about people who use, like, you know how you have people who do the flame stuff and they do the hula hoops and they're working with this fire and they make it look so good. But if you get a person and you put fire on those hula hoops and they don't know what they're doing, they'll burn themselves and burn everything up. So that's a very that's a it's like you're working with a powerful energy. When you think about fire, like fire is life. Fire can do its own thing. Fire is quick. If you set something on fire, that the whole everything will be on fire within less than like a few minutes. Everything will catch fire. Like, fire moves very fast. So you have to be very careful that you're not misdirecting this fire or burning yourself, or not really clearly being deliberate about that which you're focused on, family. We have to be focused in every moment right now. And the reason is because, with, like I said, with the 2022 prophetic word, the choice is yours. So we've been given the favor. We've also been given the power during this time. But we have to really hone into that power. And we really have to hone into that power here by what we're allowing into our minds. And we can allow things into our minds through our eye gate, through our ear gate, through our mouth, what we're speaking, eating, even some things like that. Right? We have to be cognizant of what we're ingesting, period, during this time. So be careful. I hope this video made sense. Make sure that you are being very deliberate about people. Don't just have people in your life just because you're bored, or just because, you know, you want something to do, or because you want somebody to talk to. Let's say you're like, man, I cut this person out, but at least sometime I was able to talk to them when I'm going through stuff. But I cut it. Like, don't entertain anything just for the sake of entertaining it. If it's not something that you is 100% in alignment with the vision that God is giving you or where you're going, completely cut it out. Like, cut it out. Don't give it any focus, family. And if any of you find yourself entertaining or watching something, or let's say you're watching a movie with a friend, or you're listening to some music, and something kind of hits your spirit or hits your mind that you're like, wait, this isn't what I'm not trying to bring none of that energy to myself. Y'all know how we do. First of all, in the Lord, you bind it, right? You send it back, you rebuke it. You don't allow that over your life. You rebuke it, and then you speak that which you actually want to flow in your life in place of whatever that negative comment or that negative influence was. All right. So I hope this made sense. I love you all so much. Y'all feel free to come join us on patreon.com/prettybosstv. I'll talk to y'all soon, y'all willing. Peace.